Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I think the uniqueness of the Reggae Girls is they embody the national motto of Jamaica, which is out of many one people. So when you look at the entirety of the Jamaica squad, you have dark-skinned girls, mixed-race girls, girls who have black and Asian in them. You also have the homegrown players, so like your Bunny Shaw, your Konya Plummer, your Den Blackwood. So what that means in terms of from a grassroots perspective is girls who are born in Jamaica can look at a Bunny Shaw and hear that authentic accent and say, you know, if Bunny can make it, then so can I. Once you hear that authenticity, that raw Jamaican accent, they should be able to look at a Bunny Shaw who's now a captain to say, if Bunny can do it, especially if you come from the same community, the same parish as her, if she can do it, then so can we.
I want to give a big bless up to the Reggae girls out there. They ain't believing us. John did. Reggae girls, keep winning, keep inspiring. I know you're going to be great out there. World Cup. Sadella Marley, number love. Bless up from DJ Khaled.
And I'm represent for the Reggae girls. You know what I mean? Big up on yourself every time. Especially if you're qualifying for the World Cup back to back. You know what I mean? Sidela, big up yourself. One love every time. You know the thing go. Blessing off a flow like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river. What the Reggae girls do? Left them name night earth like a queen. Me have to big up the top soccer team. You know Massacre represent. Jamaica supporting every time. You know the thing go.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I feel like I'm from UK, you know.
See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Shout Out the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best. So Davis, take it away.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I feel like I'm from UK, you know.
See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Shout Out the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best. So Davis, take it away.
My Talawers, how are we all? Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Welcome back to another live stream. First and foremost, I am so sorry to keep you guys waiting. I've kept you waiting for over half an hour. I do apologize. As you can tell, the wheel ups, that clearly gives you an indication that there was some technical difficulties my end. Sometimes technology gets the best of me, completely out of my control, but at least I am here now. If you haven't done so already, I do hope that you take the time out to kindly hit the like button. I promise you, it does not cost you a penny. Do go ahead and hit that like button. Also, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, that is. And if you are out and about, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed, because making it through your doors is an underrated blessing. Big up yourself. Owen, big up yourself. One Real Madrid, big up yourself. One Real Madrid. Jerome, good night, Jerome. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not sleep today because I think we've all gathered now that I'm a night owl. And as a night owl, I'm not sure if it's not going to make any sense whatsoever, but I'm not sure if I can actually give you guys that watch along in some under 3 hours to go. Let me know if you guys want me to give you a watch along. Don't tell me to give you a watch along and then you don't show up, because that's not nice. I do need you guys to keep my company. Kickoff time against Nicaragua is scheduled for 3 a.m. So that means I'm looking to finish at maybe 5 a.m. I'm usually up at that time. I don't tend to sleep until, let's say, 6 a.m. onwards. for several nights, that is. So I'm sure you guys have heard me say it for the last couple of years that I struggle to sleep when nighttime comes, and unfortunately things are still the same. Maybe you guys can give me some tips in the comment section how to get some much needed beauty sleep. Big up yourself, Cranky Live. If you're not familiar with Cranky Live, do get familiar. Do make your way, I should say, over to Cranky Live, and kindly subscribe and also hit the like button. Don't make me have to ask you guys more than once to hit the like button, guys. There's how many of you? Close to 50 of you watching. Only 12 of you have hit the like button. I promise you, it does not cost a penny. What language do they speak in Nicaragua? Do I need to speak in your mother tongue? I feel like we have some away supporters. Let me know what language you guys need me to speak in so I can go ahead and practice the necessary language there, make myself bilingual, and I could speak to you guys in those languages so you know when to hit the like button. Francis says, I like such things. So don't chase them away, Cranky. I promise you guys, it does not cost a penny. Oh, Spanish. Well, I'm going to have to practice some Spanish. Maybe I'll practice that before kickoff, right? I might practice a bit of Spanish before kickoff to speak to you guys there in Nicaragua. The real Cranky, big up yourself. Let me just brush over my hello to yourself. At least I understand that. How are you? I think this is my first time seeing you on my platform. Hopefully it won't be the last. I hope that you're in good health, and hopefully all you guys there are in good health. And more importantly, or I should say, adding to what I've said, I do hope that our friends over in Florida are in good health. I guess it only makes sense to go ahead and give you guys a quick little update pertaining to Florida. I'm pretty sure we've all been in the loop regarding the hurricane. Yes, it has nothing to do with football, but we are dealing with human lives. I don't think I need to add context. Context has nothing to do with it. Ever has anything to do with when we're talking about human lives. But obviously, as I've said on other live streams, Florida is in the backyard of Jamaica. So if you want context, if you're trying to nitpick, there is your context. So we're going to just do a quick little brush over on Hurricane Milton, give you guys some of the latest updates. I have tried to secure the latest updates. A little bit of a time-consuming process, but I think it's definitely worth it. And I'll also be sharing some photos there with you guys on screen. Okay, so sit tight. And then after that, we're going to do a deep dive looking at today's game. Pending match day kicking off in less than 3 hours time. Painful watch along probably if you are tired and you do have work in the morning. If you're based in the UK like myself, who knows, maybe we can keep each other's company. Do let me know if you want me to do a live watch along. This one I'm leaving for you guys in the comment section to decide. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead. You should be able to see this one on the screen in front of you. Don't worry, the print is quite small, so I won't ask you to read it for yourself. I will, however, go ahead and give it a spin for you. Okay, so this one is taken from the trusted BBC News, and it does say striking photos show the extent of Milton's devastation. And some of it is probably going to be a little bit distressing. Obviously, that's not my intention to do so. I have checked the photos. I don't think there is any. Well, I can't speak for anyone actually, but there isn't any trigger warnings from what I managed to scope out. But some of it definitely, from a human perspective, most certainly distressing. So if they managed to unintentionally trigger anyone's emotions, I do apologize. That's not my intentions at all. So I will go ahead and give that short report there written by George Burke of BBC News. And it does say Hurricane Milton left behind power outages, destruction, and some fatalities after making landfall overnight Wednesday as major Category 3 hurricane. So before we were being told by the experts that it is predicted to be a Category 5. So thankfully, that one seemed to have dropped down to a Category 3 hurricane. It does say in the report the storm brought with it winds over 100 miles per hour and 1 in 1,000 year rainfall. As much as 18 inches fell in some parts of Florida's west coast, with heavy downpours across the state and in nearby Cuba. Cuba, one of our I could say close to our shores, definitely close to our shores. I'm looking for a neighbor, one of our neighbors there in the Caribbean. As it traveled inland across Florida's peninsula, Milton maintained Category 1 strength with sustained winds up to 90 miles per hour. It lost some power once overland after its energy was fueled by warm Gulf of Mexico waters. Some storm surges and tornadoes led to extensive flooding, with more expected in the coming days. Several people have been killed, with tornadoes in Lucey County claiming 4 lives before Milton made landfall. Officials across Florida ordered evacuations as the storm approached, and more than 3 million homes and businesses reportedly lost power overnight on Wednesday, as residents and responders continue rescue operation and surveying damage. We look at the impact of Hurricane Milton in pictures. And I will try to move along very quickly so you guys could take in the photos there for yourself. Again, if it is a little bit triggering for yourself, maybe you want to switch to someone else's platform channel temporarily for, let's say, the next 60 seconds and go but return, okay? I think this is probably the most distressing image for me to look at. You can see for some people it's called a pram, a buggy, a stroller, basically what you carry your young ones in, your toddler, your baby. So you can see the stroller there in the picture. So it is obviously naturally distressing, and thankfully the person there coming through the window is receiving help. And these guys there, the rescue team with their rescue operation, they are really the heroes without capes. So big them up because they do a excellent job. I know some of you would say, but that's their job. Nevertheless, they are still heroes without capes. And you're looking at the roof here. It says here that this is the Tropicana Field Baseball Stadium in St. Petersburg, was being used as a shelter for first responders until its roof was ripped off. Fortunately, no one was injured. So that is how we're looking there. Again, this one, all the pictures really and truly distressing. I am happy though. It seems like she's looking at something that's quite devastating. Hopefully, whatever she's looking at is repairable, and it can be turned around quite swiftly. I'm also pleased here to see that this lovely car right here isn't damaged. And again, someone there riding a bicycle and of course in stairs. And that is how things look as it relates to the hurricane. I will go ahead and just change that very quickly again, because I'm not trying to trigger no one's emotions. So I am going to make a swift little change and see if I could just bring something up that's a little bit more lighthearted. Why not? Let's see if I can go ahead and bring up the squad list, right? So we can go ahead and look at the Reggae Boyz squad list and just take our mind off of Hurricane Milton. Goes without saying, I do hope that everyone in Florida, not just my subscribers, but non-subscribers, I do hope that you're in good health. I hope that both yourselves and your loved ones are safe and sound, safe and unharmed. And if there happen to be any devastation, I hope that it is repairable. Definitely keeping you guys in my thoughts and prayers. And I hope to see you guys soon. So do continue to take care of yourselves. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just click on the squad announcement so that we can just take our minds off those devastating and I guess somewhat triggering photos there of Hurricane Milton. Big up you guys there in the comment section. Again, I hope you're all in good health. I'm pretty sure you guys know the situation there pertaining to our squad list, but I can go ahead and give that another spin in terms of reading out the squad list. That is, I do need to head over to the Jamaica Football Federation's page so I can read a bit of additional information. See if I can screen drop this onto my okay, let's do the squad list first. I was hoping that they would put this information up on their Instagram, but they haven't done so. Right, so I'm gonna pop over to Twitter, also now known as X, but I still call it Twitter. Almost 100 of you tuning in. Do kindly go ahead and hit that like button. All right, do remind the guys in the comment section, and those of you who are silently watching, if you're just tuning in, if you're new to the channel, do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. As it relates to the Reggae Boys, you should be able to see the squad list there in front of you. If in case you cannot read it, do go worry not, I will go ahead and do it for you. So we're gonna start this one off between the sticks and then work our way through to the forward selection. So in between the sticks, we have the selection of Andre Blake, Shaquan Davis, and Jamali Waite. In defense, we have the selection of Dexter Lambakisa. We have Kevin Lambert coming in for Deshaun Brown. That was officially announced by the Jamaica Football Federation. And over on their Instagram page, it says, this was posted some 24 hours ago, Coach McLaren, that is obviously the Reggae Boys coach, confirms one change to the Reggae Boys squad as Kevin Lambert comes in for Deshaun Bernard, who has picked up an injury. Speedy recovery to Bernard, and welcome Pepe to the squad. So clearly that's his nickname. So continuing from what I was saying, Deshaun Bernard replaced by Kevin Lambert, and to complete the defense, we have Greg Lee, Damian Lowe, John Bell, Richard King, Tavon Gray, Ephraim Pinnock, and Mason Holgate. In midfield, we have Casey Palmer, Croy Anderson, Bobby Reed, Joey Latibade, and Tariq McGee. And up top, we have Ronaldo Cephas, Norman Campbell, Michael Antonio, Damari Gray, Kaheem Dixon, and Romario Williams. If you guys want me to give that another spin at any point, do ask nicely and I will go ahead and give that another spin for you guys. I was trying to see if I could secure some information there. Maybe you guys can point me in the right direction pertaining to what was I going to say? The pre-match press conferences, right? But I stumbled into multiple blocks. Maybe you guys could point me in the right direction. Let me know where to go. So instead of speaking about the presser there, I guess I could just focus on the squad announcement since we're looking at the squad announcement. Now, I'm not going to put a downer on no one's mood. It is, oh my God, it's a Friday. It's Friday for me now. Of course, because the game is played on Thursday for you guys. It's Friday, early Friday morning for me. So the weekend is here. I'm not going to put a downer on you guys' mood, but I will share my thoughts. I've given this a few considerations over the last couple of days pertaining to the squad announcement, and more importantly, or more specifically, I should say, the press conference for the squad announcements. I don't know, maybe I'll allow you guys to maybe redirect me, place me in the right position. But for me, as it relates to our gaffer, Mr. Steve McLaren, he looked a little bit off. Things felt a little bit off on observation. I don't know what you guys make of that presser there again for the announcement of the squad for the two pending games where this month's international friendlies, Concacaf Nations League fixtures are concerned. I don't know. For me, he looked uncomfortable, didn't look convincing, whatever message he was trying to give to us in terms of just the general conversation. It didn't look convincing to me. I don't know how you guys, what you guys make of what was said and the delivery, the approach. One thing I'm not a fan of so far is the leaning in towards Maren Gordon. And of course, people are going to say, yes, he has to lean on or rely on Maren Gordon. Yes, obviously within context, we totally get that. But I feel like, and maybe it's just me, but I feel as if there's this emphasis on Maren's player suggestions. And for me, it's almost as if, and I can't speak for the coach, only he can clarify that. But as an outsider looking on, it felt as if, if it does go wrong, Maren Gordon gets the blame. And I didn't really like that. I didn't like the, okay, this is Gordon's selection, etc., etc. um and it really begged me to ask the question of, what does the gaffer McLaren do when he's not in Jamaica? And I'm talking about the idea, because clearly Gordon is scoping out players, and that's probably part of his JD, probably part of his job description, as you would probably expect within our remit and the way we do things. But I should think, even as the head coach, part of your job is to also scope out players, scope out talents. And it made me like wonder, maybe the information is out there and I've just not stumbled across it yet. Please do redirect me if that is the case. But it did make me wonder, what does he do with regards to scoping out talent? And I'm asking that because it's something that is ever present when it comes to international football. I'm pretty sure, especially if you watch England over the years, particularly under former manager Gareth Southgate, he was quite present, visibly present in stadiums up and down the country. Of course, he would namely be at the top tier, let's say top 6 Premier League clubs. Maybe on the one-off occasion, he might go to a mid-table fixture and so on. And of course, the reason why I'm probably haven't caught any footage of your McLaren, context is most certainly key. I'm assuming it depends on whether he has this as part of his forward plan, or it could come down to something that is quite common sense and simple in terms of the leagues in which he chooses to scope out the players, profile of fixtures. And when you think of the profile of fixtures, you're thinking, are these fixtures being televised and so on? Obviously, if it's not being televised, you're not going to catch wind of him being there and so on. But it just I'm just wondering what does he do? Because I think when it comes to the early part of next year, I don't really want to hear the emphasis of this is Gordon's recommendation, something of that ilk. I do want to know, what is your thoughts? Who are you recommending? Who are you saying this is the player that I want, and so on? And I'm guessing I expect to see more of it for players who are based in the UK, because obviously that's what he's more familiar to. Maybe that's the plan for Gordon, to focus on your, yes, I'm about to say it, your JLP, don't shoot the messenger, JLP players from across the pond, so like your United States, for example, and possibly help to chime in with what's going on across the rest of the globe. But it just felt a little bit odd to me. It just felt really, really odd. I don't know what you guys make of that, but do let me know if you guys could guide me on how the gaffer is going about scoping out players. Where is he starting? Where is he looking? And even just the overall press conference, it just seemed a little bit too relaxed, although at times it looked uncomfortable. I'm just talking about like the environment itself looked a bit jokey, loosely, or maybe overly friendly. I don't know, I'm not used to being in those type of environments, most certainly where like press conferences are concerned here in the UK. So if I go to like the Emirates Stadium or Stamford Bridge, the atmosphere is way much more different. Wembley Stadium, it's different. Maybe that's something that journalists in this country do poorly, or maybe it's about getting the right balance. But yeah, personally, I would like to see things change and things done differently, message delivered differently as it relates to our head coach. But do let me know what you guys make of that. And I think I know it is early days, but I already feel as if I have seen enough of Steve McLaren in terms of him as a person. And what I've seen, it has rubbed me up the wrong way, because I feel like I've seen enough to know that what he is saying and the message that he is delivering and what he has already stated, he wouldn't do it if he was the gaffer for the Three Lions. And it goes back to what I've said in previous live streams, you know, and everyone is involved in this, especially when you're dealing with the media. If you act like a clown, you will get treated like a joke. And I feel like he kind of knows where we're at as a nation, as people, in terms of what we want. I think the standards clearly isn't the same. We're not on the same level pertaining to expectations across the board with the likes of England. I can only compare it to England because obviously at international level, he was the former England gaffer some many moons ago. But yeah, I think, you know, when you compare those two countries where McLaren is concerned, again, expectations across the board on and off the field of play is, for me so far, incomparable. Bit of a shame, because I would like to see, especially when we're dealing with, I'll say, both new and traditional media, I would like to see things done differently. Better questions being asked, I think, is probably what a lot of us is thinking in the back of our minds, because so far it just feels a little bit too jokey for my liking. Okay, let's see what's my score prediction. 2-1 Jamaica. Smash the like button. A good evening. My doctor friend is in the house. I hope you are all right. Hi, Crystal. It says it was Marin's recommendation. So if there don't want to be blamed, it will be I like the way you've spun that. Good. Logic is the perfect name for yourself. Yeah, but you know, as I said, I just didn't like the emphasis on Marin. Okay, we know, but you know, what do you do? That's what I would like to know, you know. And you know, I've heard people say that Simon Preston should be telling him who players are. So like the fact that he kind of didn't know, I'm assuming didn't know who Dujon Whisper Richards is. And I think, well, no, it's not the job of Simon Preston to educate the gaffer on who our players are. I think we need to break ourselves out of this habit of attaching roles to people that isn't written in their JD. The job of Simon Preston, who, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but he is the Reggae Boyz press officer. It's not the job of the press officer to tell the gaffer who is who. Like, that is the job of your staff members. That is the job of the makeup of your staff in selection, not the job of your press officer. So yeah, I thought that was a little bit odd that people were expecting the press officer to educate the head coach. I don't agree with that. I'm sure that's not in, I don't know Simon's JD, but I'm sure that's not in his job description. And if it is, it shouldn't be, because again, that is not the role of a press officer. I do think, as I said, you know, we should get away from attaching roles to people that don't even make sense. You know, even the fact that people are demanding for, let's say, Simon, or I think Earl Bailey is probably the better example here, as the Reggae Girls press officer. The fact that people want him to do the interviews, that's not the job. That's not the criteria of a press officer. That's not his duty. If he does it, brilliant, but I don't know what his job description looks like, but that's not the job of press officers. Say, for example, your England press officer or your Arsenal or your Manchester United press officer isn't the one that's interviewing the players. That's why you need a social media team. That's why you need a team of interviewers, video editors, and so on. But if the likes of your Earl Bailey and your Simon Preston are willing to do those things, then fantastic. But if they don't get it done, then one can't be mad at them, because that's not their job. You know, you just have to hire people to get the necessary job done. And that was just on my mind very briefly. So I thought, why not just echo my thoughts? Do we need this on a match day? I don't really know what this you're referring to. So you might have to You might have to be a little bit more clear. I'm going to need you to spin that one with a bit of clarity because I've said a lot and I don't really know what you're referring to be honest with you. Pochettino told the American media the same thing about being in Europe where most of the players are. What are you talking about? Pochettino told the American media. I don't know what you're talking about, Horace, because I've spoken about so many different things just now in the last, let's call it 30 minutes. So I don't mean to be rude, but you have to just be a little bit more clearer because I have no idea what you're talking about. So be a little bit more clearer with me. Speed want Marin in so he can pick speed players. That's a comment from Berta. Well, unless you have evidence of that, I will just say that that is probably just your assumption. Unless there's any evidence of that, then so far that's just your assumption. Speed is conflict of interest. Need to go like, oh well, if you think Rudolph Speed is leaving anytime soon, you better sit down and give your head a little wobble and wish for something else because it's not going to happen. You have a better chance of reaching up and grabbing the star than for Rudolph Speed to say goodbye to his position in the Jamaica Football Federation. However, people think of he more like anyone else in non-playing staff will know the Jamaican players even more than McLaren. Yes, he will, but again, I still want to know because I don't know what McLaren does. I don't know what he does in terms of recruiting players. Is it a case of this is why lines need to be clear? Because who knows? It's probably the job of Merrin Garden to scope players out just in general. So maybe McLaren won't be going out there and looking at players, which I still think is a little bit odd. I still think it would be great for them to share that role. Do you see what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense with you all. I think what I'll do is go ahead and look at our hosts. But I guess before I do that, shall we go ahead and take a look at the table to see how we're looking at the table, or should I just dive right into it? I think what I should do is just go ahead and look at Nicaragua, look at a couple of their games played this year, look at how they've performed leading up to tonight's game. So I'm going to be taking my eyes away from the screen in a matter of maybe 2 seconds, which basically means I won't be able to see you guys there in the comment section. So anything that you guys have to say, unfortunately, I will have to respond to you once I finish what I'm saying on screen. All right. So I don't mean to be rude. If you say something and I don't respond, trust that I don't mean to be rude. Chorus, if you're still listening, please do go ahead and drop another comment. I do actually want to know what you're referring to because, as I said quite a lot just then. All right, so let's look at our opponents. Last game against Cuba, you can see there that that one finished point shared in a 1-1 draw. I actually decided that I wanted to share this screen here with you guys because I'm sure you guys have figured it out already that you're looking at the fixtures played this year 2024 for our host Nicaragua, and that is a selection there of 7 games played. 1 2 3 4 5 6, actually 6 games played. They have one more game which would have made it 7 games so far. So let's count again. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I don't know why sometimes I second doubt myself, which I shouldn't. So 7 games played so far this year. I believe that means we would have played 4 more games than Nicaragua. And for context, obviously we played in games like the Copa America. They obviously didn't play in the Copa America. Hence the little bit of a clear difference there in terms of games played. Though I don't really think it will make much of a difference going into tonight's game because their results, clearly you guys can see on screen, it does speak for itself. The clear, obvious takeaway from their results, from their games played, their 7 string of games played so far this year, is that they started things off on the back foot. You can see there that they started things off against Peru and also Cuba, respectively. And these 2 games here were met with a defeat, back-to-back defeat to start off their year. But luckily for them, they so far managed to turn things around. 1-1 against Guatemala. Then they played Montserrat. They beat them 4-1. Belize, they beat Belize 4-0. French Guyana, they also beat them 1-0. And again against Cuba, that is a match there that ended in a draw. Saying that to say again, with what you guys can see in front of you, clearly they are currently on an unbeaten run. So aside from the 2 games there to kick off the start of the year, they are now on a 5-game unbeaten run, 7 games in total for the 2024 calendar year. And to reiterate, the only 2 teams that's beaten them so far this year, Peru and also Cuba. So in terms of form, you're looking at something like a draw, win, 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 draw. So we could potentially be causing some upset there for Nicaragua. Before I get into any potential upset, I guess because I've already touched on it, it does make perfect sense to also look at how we have performed this year. And if you follow the Reggae Boys religiously, whether that's willingly or unwillingly, you should already know how things have panned out in the past couple of months. Again, to make it fair in terms of games played, I'm only going to be looking at 2024. Again, we have played 11 games, couple games there, couple extra games in our arson. That's down to competitions played. So like your Copa America here, sure nobody wants to be reminded about the Copa America, but big up Michael Antonio for creating some history there for us where the Copa America is concerned. So our opponents, they're coming to the game with a draw in their back pocket. Sorry. We, on the other hand, we are coming into tonight's game against the hosts with a 2-1 victory over Honduras. I'm pretty sure that you guys are fully aware of that already. But it does make for an interesting reading there. Again, if you look at the string of 11 fixtures there played across the 2024 calendar year, 5 wins, 2 draws, 4 losses, or a form currently, if we're talking about making it fair in terms of direct comparisons. If we're looking at the last 5s, we're saying a win, a draw, followed by a hat-trick of losses there where the Copa America is concerned. So in terms of any potential head-to-head clashes there, any clear advantage? I think the first one that I can think of in terms of off the top of my head is I'll be interested to see how well the 12th man perform. And the 12th man, obviously I'm speaking about the host and their spectators. They are in the better form than ourselves with their unbeaten run, but I do think you have to look at things in context and look at the countries that they have played against. Again, can't be mad at them. You can only play what's in front of you. Same goes for Jamaica with a hat-trick of defeats there, where Copa America is concerned. We can only play what's in front of us. And I think in terms of Jamaica, we already know about the player omission there. I don't know if you guys need me to go over who isn't available, but I think for a game like this, given what we know, given the makeup of the squad, chop and changes here and there, more importantly, in terms of the environment and playing surface, it's probably going to be one that comes into how well we can execute our tactics. I think in terms of the players, we're probably likely to see them play with less aggression. They're probably more likely to be treading cautiously for obvious reasons. Again, alluding to that playing surface there. And also when you look at fixture played across the world and players already, some of the players from Star Boys or Poster Boys from respective clubs in like EPL, that's English Premier League, unfortunately, they've got their own little fears to worry about in terms of players going off injured. And that just comes down to the fixture congestion. I think it's high time that people start asking or looking at international football and really do start to ask the question, like, is all of this necessary? You know, we just came out of one international window, and as you blink, you're in another international window. Paraphrasing, we've got players who aren't available due to a number of reasons, be it fitness, being potentially, I don't know, it might be a mental aspect, but not feeling as if they are 100%. I can only go off what's been told to us, and therefore have made themselves unavailable. Also looking at players who are unavailable, quote unquote, due to not accumulating enough minutes at club level. And then we have one of our players there apparently potentially waiting on some announcement there regarding securing a new club as a free agent. So I think there's a clear opportunity there. If I backstep a little bit, and go back to looking at Nicaragua's and their last string of results, and the fact that they do come into tonight's game on a 5-game unbeaten run, clearly there should be some added motivation there where the Reggae Boys are concerned. I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to test whether we can attain favorable results in what is a chop and change squad, with the greatest of respect to our players there. And yes, it's probably going to feel like chop and change because we're being led by a new coach. This is his second time meeting up with the boys for international football, that is. So again, you know, it's an opportunity for what we've seen in the last window, in the September window, where we had players like your KC Palmer stepping up and trying to make a name for himself. As I said back then, I think he was one of the standout players from that particular window. As things stand, there's no one there that could potentially usher him out of the side. I don't see who's going to be ushering him out of the squad completely. I think he's now placed himself in a position where he's going to be called up. Whether how he gets utilized, I'm assuming depending on fitness, the opponents, and what the coaches are searching for. But a player like that definitely stepped up, I feel, in the last international break, and I am hoping to see more of the same where our boys are concerned on tonight's occasion. So there's some opportunity there as well to answer the uncertainty. No, there's a few yes and, you know, not real. That there's a lot of if and buts going on pertaining to where the 12 men are concerned in terms of player selections. But as I said earlier on, you know, this is an opportunity for our boys, again, taking everything into consideration, for our boys to go out there and play play smart, not necessarily hard, because at this moment in their season, I don't think you can expect them to go full 100. They still have the bulk of the season to play for their respective clubs. We already heard that apparently unless I misheard, but I'm pretty sure I heard that the playing surface is AstroTurfs. Then if you guys have ever played on AstroTurfs, but it is horrendous. And one way of trying to get the better of our opponents and hopefully poking a hole or clipping their wings and derailing their unbeaten run that they're currently on is, I'm sure the backroom staff, I'm sure, would have, you know, analyzed previous matches and learning the opponent's weaknesses, and then trying to see how we can capitalize off said weakness. Yes, they are on an unbeaten run, but they are not pitch perfect, because we saw again, and I decided to just keep this on screen. You saw at the start of the year what happened when they played against Peru and also Cuba. It just goes to show that they are not pitch perfect, irrespective of how things have been going on for them over the last couple of games where they're on this winning momentum. As you can see on the screen there, aside from Jamaica, which is going to be kicking off in less than 2 hours' time, they have one more match, and that match is against French Guyana. And I am sure that they'll be wanting to chalk off 2024 on a unbeaten run, aside from the 2 losses that kickstarted their 2024 campaign. And with that, sometimes when you're almost home and dry, remember they have 2 matches to play, including tonight's game. So tonight they have us, and then followed by French Guyana. So when you're so close to being home and dry, unfortunately that can sometimes lead to a little bit of devastation. We've seen in the past where teams, especially when you're looking at club football, where teams are so close to achieving something wonderful and they end up becoming complacent, they end up becoming naive. They do, obviously, as I've said already, that they do have their 12th man firmly in their back pocket. So they should be able to, based off what we've seen over the last couple of games. I am expecting them to score because the results speak for itself. They have come up clutch over their last 5 games. I am anticipating, I should say, anticipating them finding the back of our net. So there is a few bits there to ponder over pertaining to how we're going to I should say perform against our hosts. But I do, at least bare minimum, I'm not expecting us to go all out. I don't think we can, given again the playing surface and the fact that clubs, unfortunately, club football is the guys' bread and butter. It is, I would not say, I can't speak with players, I can't call it their main priority. I'm sure you can align your priority as things progress, but it is, for what it's worth, it is their 9 to 5, it is their mainstream of income. These players aren't stupid. They would have seen what happens, or experience the inevitable of what happens sometimes when you go off on international break and pick up injuries. I think maybe over a year ago, something of that ilk happened to Mikel Antonio. I think it might have been a game against Canada where he might have picked up an injury, and it was reported at the time, again, if I'm not mistaken, that he would be out for some time. Naturally, West Ham were livid. Not that I have any sympathy for them, but he is their asset. So yes, with that in mind, this being their main stream of income, I'm sure that I'm expecting, I should say, I can't say I'm sure because I don't know what they work on in practice, but I am expecting them to play it calmly, not be overly aggressive, and also not be um irrational. I think we have a few players there that at times, there's one player that sticks out, definitely guilty of making some irrational decisions, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that tonight, or at least I'm praying that we won't see that tonight. You should be able to see the table in front of you. Let me just check if you can. I will go ahead and try to make sense of it with you guys. You can see there, I wanted to show you guys this Concacaf Nations League, League A, Group B. You can see there leading the pack is Honduras. They have 6 points there in their back pocket. They're closely followed by Jamaica and Nicaragua. They share the same number of points, and also goal difference as well. 1 apiece where goal difference is concerned, and 4 apiece where points are concerned. Having played 2 matches apiece, and who knows, if we do go ahead and win tonight's game, then we could leapfrog Honduras. I don't know when Honduras are playing, or maybe it might be Nicaragua. Hopefully, if God has anything to do with it, that won't happen, but that remains to be seen. So that is how we're looking there, where those 2 sides are concerned. I don't know what you guys make of what's been said. I don't know what you guys make of the prediction. Someone asked me for a prediction. I've given you guys my prediction. Let me know how what you guys think in terms of how you think the game will pan out. Be interesting to see. Dr. Emperor says, to be fair, the gaffer did refer to Merrin as a good recruiter scout. Paraphrase. Yeah, I'm not buying all of that. I'm sure he is, but I just kind of feel that it's lazy work from McLaren, to be honest with you. Hot Chili, good day, Hot Chili. I hope you're well. Christine says, big up yourself, not enough respect. Big up yourself also. Honduras won today. So if we play, okay, they won today. Okay, good night. What time is the game going to start? I'm not sure where you're based, but the game is basically kicking off in less than 2 hours time. It's kicking off 3 a.m. my time in the UK. So I don't know what time that is for you guys in Jamaica. Hot Chili says 2-0 Jamaica. So yeah, the winner will go top of the group. So we have to just wait and see how this one pans out. Hopefully we go ahead and do it. I'm saying 2-1 Jamaica, but I don't know how this one's going to pan out. As I said, I am expecting Nicaragua to find the back of the net some way, somehow, based off what they've been doing. I think I've been speaking with you guys for 49 minutes, almost 1 hour. Do let me know if you guys want me to come back and come back and do a live watch along with you guys. So far, you guys haven't answered that question. Do let me know if you want me to do a live watch along with you guys. I am going to change the topic temporarily. That is, unless you guys have something else that you want us to discuss in terms of the game, your expectations. I wish I could locate the pre-match press conferences there for both Nicaragua and Jamaica, but I've not managed to land across it, unfortunately. I don't know if you guys know where I can go to watch the press conference, then do go ahead and let me know, and I will go ahead and maybe share that with you. Or maybe I could just share the audio, because obviously I don't want to get a copyright violation. Again, do let me know if you want me to go ahead and give you guys some live watch along. So far, I'm leaning towards no, because you guys haven't told me yes. So, but let me know. Don't know if it's today or yesterday, to be honest. If we start making unnecessary back passes, we will lose. Lion King Football Entertainment already anticipating the game. I gather you're probably cautiously optimistic. Is that how we're feeling? You're entitled to your feelings. I'll see if the Jamaica Football Federation have put anything out in terms of new information, that is. I don't know. Has Concacaf put anything out on us? We'll go ahead and see if Concacaf has anything. Nope. Concacaf Nations League, there's nothing there. Again, guys, I don't know where to find the press conferences to share with you guys. It should actually just be at the click of a finger, but sometimes that's not the case when you're dealing with football in our shores. Okay, so I think you guys aren't saying much to me in the comment section, so I think I'm going to temporarily go ahead and make a little segue and talk about something completely different to tonight's topic of conversation. But it just dawned on me that did I do a live stream yesterday? I don't think I did a live stream yesterday, hence not speaking about my next subject. I will be staying a little while longer so I can see you guys score prediction. Also, let me know if you want that live watch along. Silence to me, that's a no. So far, you guys have been silent. Not one of you have told me that you want a live watch along. Again, to summarize it all, we've already spoken about the hurricane in Florida, Hurricane Milton. I've already given you guys some update on that. Already looked at the string of fixtures there pertaining to Honduras, pertaining to Nicaragua and Jamaica, in terms of form coming into the game and so on, right? So I want to talk about a different topic now. And I'm not really sure where to start, because when I was actually thinking about speaking about my next topic, I was filled with a lot of pride, beaming from ear to ear. And I think for most of you guys, you probably feel the same in terms of us, that you guys there who grew up in a particular golden era. Now, the golden era that I'm speaking about, let's see if I can change my screen. It would help if I change my screen so we can go ahead and look at what I can see. The golden era that I am talking about belongs to some athletics. And that is athletics and Mr. Yohan Blake. Sure, you guys would have seen this lovely bit of news there where Yohan Blake is concerned. Again, to avoid any copyright violation, I'm just going to click on a photo rather than playing any videos for you guys. So Yohan Blake, I'm not sure what he means to you guys there in the comment section, but it goes without saying that he is without a shadow of a doubt a legend, not just where athletics is concerned, where Jamaica are positioned, but globally, he is an absolute legend. I remember growing up and just watching our golden era and looking at all the, illustrious achievements that, athletes like Yohan Blake achieved, and just how happy it made me as a young girl growing up, going to school. I'm pretty sure I've spoken to you guys about the diaspora wars between Jamaica and the entire continent of Africa. Of course, they've produced some world class, wonderful footballers. So there was no contest there where I was concerned, could hardly defend for myself. But the one name, not one name, in terms of athletics, obviously I could not be touched when it comes to athletics. And we have our golden generation to thank for that. Somewhat was that 2+ decades there where it was just some unbelievable stuff where our athletes are concerned. And growing up, they most certainly made me proud at the I should think, the obvious Olympics there that stands out from my memories, like Beijing onwards, goes without saying. London 2012, that was a special Olympics, absolutely special Olympics. It's crazy because when I think back to London 2012, I'm sure, for these athletes, when you speak to them and you hear them speak in interviews, they, paraphrasing, they do see Jamaica as a second home. And of course, it makes perfect sense because of the Jamaica diaspora community within London. I'm sure for them, it feels like a second home. So for all that they achieved, the likes of Yohan Blake and his compatriots, especially at London 2012, much of that still fills me with joy. I know if you tap into that nostalgia, I'm sure you guys will be beaming with pride for what we were able to witness, for all the bragging rights that they gave us. And, second world's fastest man, that's no easy feat. That is, I don't know the man on a personal level, but the amount of dedication, the years of hard work that he would have had to be disciplined enough to carry out, and then to go out there and implement it on sports, one of sports biggest stage, the Olympics, is sometimes for the most part unheard of. But I'm sure we're now at the stage where it gets emotional because we're watching him unwind on his athletics career, just like how we're watching another great, Shelley and Fraser Price, just winding down on their careers, and it makes us emotional. But it's great, like your Shelley and Fraser Price, she's gone off and she's doing some wonderful work away from athletics in terms of being a businesswoman. And I'm really proud for Yohan Blake that we can call him a businessman. We can see that whether this is plan B of several plan Bs that he has in his chamber, at least now we can say we know for certain visibly this is a plan B for him, for when he makes that inevitable decision to just call it a complete stop where his athletics career is concerned. So your headline there does read for itself. Yohan Blake launches a restaurant, and that is some wonderful news there. And this bit of news has been gaining some momentum over the last couple of days. If you kept your eyes on Yohan Blake's Instagram, you would have seen there that Yohan Blake opened his restaurant, and the name of the restaurant is called Butcher's Barrel. It is located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the announcement, the launch, I should should say, took place this past week on October 8th. Some wonderful news there for Yohan. I was really happy for him watching the launch, beaming with pride, not just because he's opening up his restaurant there, but the bit that really made me just filled with so much joy for him was that he was also presented with the keys to the region. Yes, guys, he was presented with the keys to the region, and that is a applaudable achievement there. It's not given to any ordinary person. You have to be extraordinary. You have to be up there, the highest of achievers there where your respective field is concerned, be it in sports or entertainment. Now, funny enough, as it relates to being awarded the keys to the region there, he has actually become the first sports person to receive this illustrious awards. And you guys will probably already be aware of this, but in doing so, he has joined a couple of his compatriots. So, like Spice, Miss Kitty, and Kimani Marley in receiving the prestigious award, which, is another opportunity to place those flowers firmly at his feet, be happy for him. I can't compare what he has achieved to what he's currently achieving in terms of what he has achieved in athletics to what he's currently achieving. I'm sure it just get added with each other because there's no real reason to do any comparisons. But for what he has achieved in his career and his new endeavor, I am really happy for him. I'm happy to see that life off the field, off track and field, I should say, seems to be heading in the right direction. I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen some well-being that he does. So well-being, I think he has a well-being center in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken there. I might need to go over and on his Instagram and do some further check just to add some clarity to what I've said. But saying that to say, big up the second fastest man in the universe. Long may his success continue. Happy to see what he's achieved. And I'm going to play something with you guys, and it made me laugh because he really talked his talk, and I loved every bit of it because he has earned the right to be boastful, and I absolutely love it. When you've done what he has done, you can step forward and beat your chest and no one can question it. I was very fortunate to interview Yohan Blake I feel like it was some 2+ years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, approaching 3 years, at the Birmingham Diamond League, and it is one of my favorite interviews. It'll probably always be one of my favorite interviews because, guys, I made a rookie error. Here I have the second fastest man in the universe, and I made a rookie error. Was doing the interview with Yohan, and I thought that we were recording. Finished the interview, looked at my camera, and I had my face in my hands. Like, that did not just happen. And I proceeded. I was just like, Yohan, I'm hope that my doctor friend is still in the comment section because there's a question that I want to ask. I actually turned to him and I was just like, Yohan, I am so sorry. Please, the interview was not being recorded. And he said, I have to go. And I do understand it because I was told a while back that sometimes when you're in the mix zone, people get a little bit upset when athletes don't stop. But I was told that a lot of the times, sometimes if they're racing another race, they can't afford to stop, especially when they're in poor weather conditions, because apparently the poor weather condition in terms of the coldness can affect their muscles and can lead to injuries. So he was the British weather isn't great. Although on that occasion, I think it was okay, but nevertheless, he needed to go and get on with the rest of his day. And I pleaded with him. I was just like, Yohan, please just do the interview again. He's like, I have to go. And I just like, Yohan, please. And he said, okay. And we redone that interview and it worked out well. And, saying that to say, I think that tells you a little bit about who he is as a person, because like I said, this man is the world's second fastest man. For some people, they're telling you no. They're like, you snooze, you lose. I gave you a moment to interview me. I'm not staying in for another interview. Because when athletes, when they're at the height of their game, when they are like as big as Yohan Blake, when they're a big household name, sometimes they're horrible. And I can't even say that you would be horrible because it is within reason. I would have been the one to say, I can only take ownership for that because I messed up. I should have double checked that it was recording. But yes, he very kindly went redone the interview with me, and that is something that I'm always going to remember. And I am going to stop talking now, and I'm going to go ahead and share the opening there of Yohan Blake's Butcher's Barrel restaurant. If you're in Florida, specifically Fort Lauderdale, do type in the Butcher's Barrel. Get yourself down to Yohan Blake's restaurant. I will say the food does look divine. It made me a little bit hungry. And I actually went back and edited this video to like remove the food. I did include the food, but it was making me too hungry. I was like, no, let's not do that to myself. So do sit back and enjoy. You could hear some conversations there being held at the launch of Yohan Blake's Butcher's Barrel restaurant, the opening that is. Do sit back and enjoy.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
So we are live. Am I blocking you guys? I'm sorry. Wendy. Come here. Come.
All right, good evening, everyone. A pleasant good evening to each and every one of you. We welcome you here tonight to join us for our grand reopening here at the Butcher's Barrel. We thank you so much for joining us, and we continue to press on the vision that was put into this place, and we're going to take it to a whole other level. We're going to keep on keeping on and bringing that culture, that vibe, that energy into this community, and we're also going to take the Butcher's Barrel to the top. All right? So we look forward to each and every one of you being with us, and we thank you very much for supporting us on this journey.
Yeah. Mr. Blake, Mr. Blake, Mr. Blake.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Yohan Blake, as you know, the second fastest man, not just on planet Earth, but in the universe. And I'm just spreading my wings, and this is where it lands. And we're going to keep on flying. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and we're going to, as Craig said, soar to newer heights. Thank you, everyone.
Boris. Wendy, I catch it?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay, don't go too far.
So when I do the
Yes, I know. Step in with me.
Okay.
So, over here. All right, can I have all the commissioners on our
Mr. Blake,
for me, please?
Yohan,
And also
you are
the
live
agency
to your
representative
fans.
with Mr. Blake. We have a special presentation for you tonight. Here you go, Commissioner.
All right. Good evening, everyone. All right. My name is Marlon Bolton, and of course, the CG's here. Please come, sir. We have a special presentation for Yohan. We know that Yohan is the second fastest man in the world. Come on, give it up for
History.
And the key to the region for us is extremely important. We do not take this award lightly, and Yohan joins the likes of Spice, Kimani Marley, and of course Jamaican TV personality Miss Kitty for receiving the award, and he is the first in sports to receive this award. And so we'll have the elected officials say a few words before we turn over the key to Yohan.
Thank you so much. I'm Vice Mayor Alexandra P. Davis from the great city of Miramar. It's great to be here. I'd like to thank our Commissioner Marlon Bolton for inviting us again to give this prestigious award to Yohan Blake. It's very important that we recognize our heroes among us, and he's done so much for the island of Jamaica. We want to show him our gratitude right here in, what I said, Kingston, what?
21.
21?
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much. We wish you every success in your new venture.
Good evening, each and every one. I'm Commissioner Joy Smith from the city of West Park. And here tonight, we're here in celebration and in this festive our great sprinter, the beast, right? Ow! Woo! So, you know, it's an honor to be in this capacity, serving in this capacity with you. You know, I wish you great success, because sometimes it's hard to, you know, start out, and it is. I'm in this type of business as well, and I know it is rough, but with prayers and the support from the community, you will make it. And we pray that you have the wonderful, luscious, you know, humongous, you name it, all the uses in your successes. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Marlon, for bringing us here together. This another occasion, and I appreciate you. Love you guys.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Katrina Touchstone. I'm also a commissioner from the city of West Park, and it's a great honor to be honoring you tonight, Mr. Blake, with the keys of the region, and I'm so glad to have my name on the plaque honoring you and your service and all of the fantastic accomplishments that you have made and what you will be doing in the future. Kudos to you. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a real honor for us to be here to celebrate with a gentleman who has made all of us as Jamaican and Caribbean people so proud. He has allowed us to cheer at every Olympics to see the gold medal being raised and world records being raised. Let's give it up for Mr. Yohan Blake. We have more Jamaicans here in Broward County than any other county in the United States. And so I'm calling on our Jamaicans and our Caribbean people and everybody, Americans, non-Americans, everybody come forward and support the great one, Mr. Yohan Blake. So on behalf of all the people of Jamaica, we salute you, we thank you for all your great work, and know that we are here in your corner, and we'll be here to support you, my brother. Thank you.
That's right.
All right, so sorry I'm sweating so much. I think I'm the only one up here sweating. I was lifting 50-pound bags of sandbags for about 4 hours before this event, so I think my body is overheating. But Yohan, you are amazing to us. You're a gift to the Jamaican diaspora, to the world, and we thank you so, so very much. And we just want to read what this plaque says. Lots of the elected officials could not be here tonight because they're giving sandbags as well and taking care of their community. But it says, witnesseth in their personal capacities by Honorable Marlon D. Bolton with the support of Florida State Representative Lisa Dunkley and the Council General of Jamaica, Honorable Oliver Meir, Honorable Luke Lewis, Honorable Ashira Mohammed, Honorable Joy Smith, Honorable Antonio Acerio, Honorable Alexandra Davis, Honorable Regina Dr. Martin, Honorable Ray Martin, Honorable Maxwell Chambers, Honorable Keisha Daniel, Honorable Denise Grant, Honorable Dr. Katrina Touchstone, and Honorable Mark Douglas, given on this day, October 8th, 2024, at Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the key to the region.
Well deserved, Yohan.
All right. Big smiles, everybody.
Response.
I just want to say thanks again. In my country, always very bitter. But for someone to recognize me outside my country, it's always great. And I think, this brings tears to my eyes. And when you ever want to hear, to recognize this moment, I have worked 20 odd years tirelessly.
Yeah.
Creating so much historic around the world, being one of the fastest man just in the 100 and 200 plus the 4x1. It's not an easier feat. We train, we vomit each and every day, and to just do something like this, just as simply award, you're not asking for the world, it's just to recognize what we have been doing in the city. I just want to thank you for this. It really means a lot to me, trust me, from the bottom of my heart. And thanks everyone that come out and going to keep on coming. One love.
Oh.
Think it actually ended, that video ends with I think the guys in the center of that video about to take some photographs. I don't think you guys want to see that per se, but I think you get the gist of everything. To summarize that, I wanted to share that bit of news with you all, if in case you haven't caught wind of it. You've got the second world's fastest man in the center of the screen there, Mr. Yohan Blake. To reiterate, this past week, he officially, I should say, opened his restaurant called Butcher's Barrel. You can see the backdrop there in the video, and that one there is located again in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So if you're in that area, why not go ahead and make your way to the Butcher's Barrel? From what I can see, the food does look good, unless the food that Yohan is eating won't be served at his restaurant, which is just bizarre. I'm not sure why anyone would do that. But from what I could see, based off his plate, the food looks delicious, mouth-watering, delicious. And I wish I could grab myself a plate, to be honest with you, but it's not possible due to my location. But if I'm in the region, I'll be heading down to his restaurant, no doubt. And again, just want to echo what I've already said in terms of Yohan and what he did for my generation growing up, in particularly when Team Jamaica came to London. I don't think I need to remind us all about London 2012, of how amazing London 2012 was. But when they managed to, the likes of your Yohan Blake, your Usain Bolt, and your Warren Ware, and they managed to pull off that famous, historical 1, 2, 3. I think no matter where you are in the world, I'm pretty sure you can remember this moment very well. Everybody up and down Jamaica, across the diaspora, just making a crazy amount of noise, tears coming from our faces, and that is tears of joy. Absolute tears of joy for what those lads were able to achieve in what I think it goes about saying, it must feel like their backyard. So big up Yohan each and every time for what he has done with sports and athletics, namely the fact that he has, without a shadow of a doubt, played his role in helping to preserve and maintain our relevance. It's a bit of a shame that he doesn't feel appreciated. I don't know what we can do to change that feeling for him, because I'm sure you probably would have heard him touch on that every now and then. I laughed halfway through that video, because I'm pretty sure he probably alluded, unless my ears are fooling me, I felt like he alluded to some of that perhaps lack of appreciation. And these are just my words, not his words, but I think he might have said something there in the video, which is why I burst out laughing, because I think that's what I heard. But nevertheless, you know, don't want to put a damper on a special moment. You know, again, big up to Yohan, you know, all the best on his future endeavor, and I hope that his restaurant is a success. You know, maybe it could be a string of successes where his Butcher's Barrel restaurants are concerned. I have managed to discuss everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about in terms of football. That is doing a quick little preview into tonight's game. That one is going to be kicking off in just over 2 hours time. Let me know if you guys want me to come back and speak about, or not even do a live watch along with you guys. I don't think I'm coming back, to be honest with you guys, because you guys haven't told me to come back. So I don't think I'll be doing a live watch along. I've not even set no streams up. I've not like set up my thumbnail. I usually set up my thumbnail some hours before. I've not done any of that, so I don't think that I'm going to be giving you guys a live watch along. That is how your squad list is looking. I don't see you guys dropping any score predictions there in the comment section. Hutchily did say 2-0. I am going for I think it will be 2-1. Or a host are on a current unbeaten streak. Hopefully the Reggae Boys can clip their wings. So let me know if you guys have anything else that you'd like me to discuss. Drop something there in the comment section. Before I close off, I'm going to be closing off in the next couple of minutes. Before I forget my manners, thank you to those of you who have subscribe to the channel. A couple of you are new and you hit the subscribe button. I do definitely appreciate that, and big up you guys there for hitting the like button as well. Comment section's gone dead on me. It's gone completely quiet. I think that is my cue to go. I've been speaking with you guys for over 1 hour and 20 minutes, and I am completely starved. So you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to make my way to the kitchen and get something to eat because my stomach hurts and I am really hungry. So yes, guys, if you are out and about, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. And if you're new to the channel, I hope tonight won't be your last. I think what I'll do is I will give you guys a review instead. So since I'm not feeling for a watch along tonight, I think I'll come back possibly tomorrow and do a review. I think that's probably a fair shout. I'll come and give you guys a review, and yeah, we could take it from there. So yes, guys, I am about to love you and leave you because you guys are really quiet there in the comment section. Hope you guys are okay though. Hope you guys are all okay. Massive shout out to you guys there in the comment section. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys your individual shout out. Owen, 1 Real Madrid, Jerome 876, Cranky Live, Jacko the Baller, Devon Smith, Kibran Moss Solomon. Did I pronounce your name right? I don't know if I did. Chorus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Chorus, but apologies if I'm butchering it. Paul Watkins. WD Wizard. Mario Russell. Who else? Dr. Kempera. Or I like to call him Doc. Logic 1. Definitely came with some logics tonight. Bertha. Hot Chili, Pristine, Brownman Security 33, Good Sound, and Lion King Footballing Entertainment. I think that is where the special shout out is concerned. If you are silently watching, big up yourself as well. I hope that you are in good health. That is my cue to go. And you know how this one goes, guys. Until next time. Take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.